Hey, Carl. Can you
Abelardo,
hear
good
me?
to see you, my friend. How are you?
Very good to see you. I see you so active. You don't stop, never. It's amazing. Not even
Never
the
stop.
quarantine, COVID-19. You're unstoppable.
There you go. There you go. We always try and keep ourselves busy, Abelardo, as you know, and it's in times like this when our creative juices and our creative minds have to reflect and think what can we do out of the box and what and go back to the basics and just keep ourselves active and thinking and looking, being positive. I think that's the secret behind all this.
That's why I wanted to invite you to this live because I think it's so important the way you are managing all the situation right now. But more than that, Colin, starting from the beginning, we know that you were born in Fiji, which was amazing. You must have amazing stories to talk to us, to share with us. Also, we know that you have been in Brazil. We speak fluently Portuguese. You have been in Argentina for many years, Switzerland. You studied Le Roche, no? So you have an amazing background in the hospitality industry. When I told people that I was interviewing you, I was receiving many messages. I was saying, oh, yes, of course, you Carl from Hyatt Hotel in Brazil. Oh, Carl from Argentina, and some regions, Punta Mita, of course. So it's amazing all the networking that you have introduced to Punta Mita, brought to Punta Mita. And also, what is most of my attention goes to all these events that you have created in the last years in Mayacoba, in some regions, Punta Mita, in Punta Mita right now. But we're going to talk a little bit about everything. But I would like first to start with the most important thing that people must be very interested, which is about the COVID-19. We saw that Punta Mita has managed very well, and the community of Punta Mita are very safe. I think it has to be with the way you managed to all together with the Punta de Mita and Riviera Nayarit. But if you could please explain a little bit how you did that, because I think can be like example for other luxury destinations.
Thanks, Abelardo. It's great to be with you and for your comments about my history in the hospitality industry. Yeah, it's been very rich in experiences in beautiful countries like Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and Mexico, apart from Europe and Australia, and being brought up in Fiji. I'm indeed consider myself a privileged man to have lived all those wonderful experiences. As I lose you off the screen, but that's
Yeah,
okay. I'm sure you will come back. But I
yeah,
shall go
a
along.
few
And there you
minutes.
go. Nice to have your pretty face back again with me. So
I
anyway,
didn't.
going into your question there, Abelardo, what were the actions taken? Initially, I think it's the instructions are there. The government was there. The instructions were coming out. I think it was our ability to react and pivot quickly. I think the ability about the success in a situation, in a crisis situation like this has been, is in how fast we move and that we move together as a team. In this case, as a destination, the Four Seasons, the St. Regis, Punta Mita, the developer, which I take that part, and how we work together as teams to execute a shutdown, execute a lockdown. And it wasn't without any challenges. Let me assure people, you have all the non-believers who thinks this was a load of rubbish. And I can tell you it was not a load of rubbish, and it still is not a load of rubbish. So we had to be firm, strict, and make sure that we were keeping, making the lockdown something serious. It's been months since we've had any people from outside inside into Punta Mita, no renters. So that's all been part of the scenario as well. So, and on the other top of the thing was something that's been very important in Punta Mita. We have a hospital here. We have the Punta Mita Hospital, which has full protocols in place for COVID-19.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's another thing that's been
Yeah.
very important. So I think the most important thing, Abelardo, has been our ability and how quickly we reacted and put things in place that makes Punta Mita Bahia de Bandeiras, and Nayarit in itself, one of the, especially Bahia de Bandeiras has a low number of COVID infected people. No, I think we've had one or two at the most in Punta Mita here outside the gates or inside the gates. So that's a healthy situation. That doesn't mean we are happy or celebrating. No, we are just continued to play safe.
Yeah, very interesting. But Carl, I understood that the hospital is treating COVID-19, but talking about the staff of Punta Mita, the real estate development that you manage, there is any case of the employees or the families? And also very interesting the way you gave to the community food that people are they had their needs. So because not only we have the sanitary crisis, but also we have the economic crisis too. So how did you manage to give back to this community?
Abelardo, right back in March, that seems like so long ago now, March, but it's not really that long. But as soon as this began,
2021 now.
Exactly. So we said that there will be a problem here. Let's move quickly and start a humanitarian appeal fund for all the people in Punta Mita. As you know, you've been to Punta Mita before. The village Punta Mita has about 3,500 a population of 3,500 people. There's about 25 restaurants. There's bars, there's a grocery store, there's shops. And those people live 90%, let's say, of tourism, of Punta Mita, so with the hotels closed down, the St. Regis, the Four Seasons, and all Punta Mita closed down, the effect was immediate. All these people were without jobs. So what we did is we raised over 4 million pesos, or over $200,000. And we, on a weekly basis, Abelardo, we give 750, they call in Mexico, in Spanish, despensas, which is like a basic family food basket, which can feed a family for up to 4 or 5 for a week. So up until now, we've given about 5,500 of those food baskets to 750 families per week, which is about 80% of the population. So, and that's made a lot of difference. On the other side, there's a community kitchen, which was started up by some locals, which through the Dine Foundation, we are helping them feed 320 or 350 people per day, which is also another initiative. And we continue to be active in the community, but those are the two of the most important things. And by the way, allow me to take a break and congratulate what you did in Mexico City, which I've been following as well. So obviously we are guys that think alike, and the first thing that comes to mind in a crisis like this is, how can I help our neighbor? How can I help the community? That's like the first thing. It's not don't worry about the business. We can solve the business, but we can't solve saving people's life or making people's life a little bit better in tough times.
Yeah, I think there's two things that you mentioned. The first one was joint forces, St. Regis, Four Seasons, Riviera Nayarit, all together to fight against all these crises that we are managing worldwide. And the second one, all this, when you mentioned our activities in Mexico, that you supported us since the beginning. Thank you very much, you and your daughter, Kiara. But more than that, all this frustration to being home and you cannot do anything. So I think the best way, what you did was amazing, and congratulations. We have heard a lot not only from the media, but also many people talking what Punta Mita was doing, and also Riviera Nayarit and Four Seasons. I saw that Four Seasons is listening to us too. Now it's Alex Head also just joined us. So I would like to go to the next question, which is very interesting because it's about business. We cannot stop, as you never stop. is about how you got connected to your guests, to your community, your public. You kept it. I can see in your media, in your social media all the time. There's live. There's what is going on in Punta Mita that we can see all the time. What is the agenda that you have?
Yeah, well, Abelardo, it's come down to thinking quickly and moving quickly. We've done a series of different initiatives. The checking in that I do three times a week with the general managers, journalists, influencers, chefs. I've done about 20 of those, and each one depends on who it is and what the topic is. They generate about, say, 3,000, 2,000 views, and we're using the social platforms to spread the news on what that discussion is about. And it's always about discussions like this discussion with you about what are we doing today to one, be better citizens, be better people. What are we doing to prepare for the future? What are we doing to keep ourselves healthy and sane? And how are we connecting? And back to your question, how are we connected? Through Instagram lives. We've done cooking classes on Facebook. We have the yoga classes. We have golf tips. We've even we have these jigsaw puzzles. Let me see if I got a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, I love the puzzle. And the book? You have the book
what
behind
we did,
you.
we have this jigsaw puzzle.
Wow, that's great.
If you were in Punta Mita, we had about 500 people that stay in Punta Mita. They have homes here, so they did their quarantine in Punta Mita. So if you ordered the food to go, and you could come and pick it up and take away, we would give them a jigsaw puzzle.
Well, it's amazing because the puzzle, I remember when you launched it for the 20 years of Punta Mita, we didn't know that of course, we didn't predict that all that would happen. And now we all wants to play with puzzle. It was so smart.
Amazing. It's amazing that, the jigsaw puzzle over these quarantine period has become something that's like, I need a jigsaw puzzle, so, and we had this one and we had another one. So we would give that away for free.
I saw the Monopoly behind, the Mitapoly behind you.
I have that as well. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, so it's a Monopoly.
You see it back to front on the thing, but that's something that initiative we did, like we have a Monopoly type of thing. So all these get up Punta Mita itself.
Can I bother you again? Behind you, you have the book of Asulin book too. I want to see that.
Where's the book? There it is.
Yeah. So this is the Asulin book. So, wow, it's amazing because it's look like you made all that to the quarantine, like you want to have some entertainment during the quarantine.
Yeah, and fancy, Abelardo, sorry I interrupt you there, that you helped me a lot with the book back in one of the luxury labs a couple of years ago. You introduced me to Margaret, was it Margaret Asulin?
Yeah, to Martin Asulin.
Martin Asulin. Well, you introduced me, and thanks to that, we did this beautiful book of Punta Mita with Asulin.
It's amazing.
What I found out today, I still have some, but at Asulin, if you went on www.asulin online, it's sold out.
Wow, that's so nice to hear.
Problem, isn't it?
Wow, and we were afraid because we thought it would be a lot when we saw the number of editions that you were publishing, and now we have this good news. That's very nice.
But if anybody wants any, I still have some here.
So contact Carl at Punta Mita direct message. I want the Monopoly. Look, Maria Pellicer, she was the Punta Mita Monopoly. Maria Pellicer, she works for Travessias. She helps us a lot. She's amazing.
We'll tell her, we'll send her one.
We call her Wikipedia. So on this moment, Carl, we are almost ready to open the doors. We hope we can open the doors. What is the process for that? What is the next step on that? So are you opening Punta Mita's hotels as Four Seasons or Regis? What they have done in the between in all this time, the more than 60 days that we have been waiting for that?
I got plenty to talk about there, Abelardo. First of all, what have they been doing? First and foremost, both hotels took great care of their people. They guaranteed they would cover their salaries until the end of May, which they have done. The future is uncertain, but at least from the outset, people until the end of May, which we're nearly there now. I know the Four Seasons has taken most of the moment and done a lot of it work. A lot of it's they've upgraded the pool and a few other jobs like that, as I'm sure the St. Regis has done as well, as they get ready to reopen. At this stage, we do not have a date when we are waiting for the government to let us know. And as we have done all the way since the beginning in this process, we will only move in line with what the government indicates us to do. We will, that's the best way to do it. And adhere to the rules, keep to the rules. It might, to some people, it might seem silly sometimes, but it's not silly. That is the way to be safe. You've got to, if the government say that's what the rule is, we play the game.
Yeah, and Jalisco and Nayarit are doing a very good job. So yeah,
exactly.
Why not? So another question about that is, we understand that many of the people that go to Punta Mita, they own houses. They have their own house or they rent a house. So if I have a house in Punta Mita, of course I can go and stay at my house. But what services do I have right now? What is, you told us about the takeaway food, all of that.
Yeah, Abelardo, probably what we have at the moment, it's pretty much all closed. So there's really not that much to talk about. I didn't quite answer a question you asked me, which was, how are we getting ready to reopen? How's that? So what we have done now, we've set up a committee between myself, the general managers at the St. Regis and the Four Seasons, the head of the HOA, our beach clubs, the hospital, and we are elaborating, we're nearly finished, a complete COVID-19 manual of operation, so that people will know when they come to Punta Mita what to expect, right from as they get in the gate. So what we're trying to do is not only get in the gate, is we're in discussions with Rivera Nazaret and obviously the airport, the transport companies, because the crucial part of all this, Abelardo, is how we eliminate the touch factors of risk along the voyage from somebody's home to Punta Mita. And if we can, we're never going to eliminate everything. Everybody knows that by now. But we got to do the most and the best that we can, which is humanly possible. And that's what we're working on to do at the moment. So you, Abelardo, you're coming to Punta Mita, you will know before you come, and you will sign off on a document that you've read the rules of what Punta Mita will have. You will know when you go to the beach club that you will only be able to sit a table of no more than 6 people, or you won't, or you can't go and throw a party of 10 people at the beach, because there'll only be allowed 6 people at a time, or you will have to wear a mask in certain areas. When you play golf, you can only play one golf person in one in the cart. And tennis, there's protocols for everything in place. So you're not surprised. You know what I mean? Oh, I didn't want to come to this. No, you will be told before when you come to Punta Mita. And just to make it clear to everybody that I'm going to a place that is safe. They are doing the very, very, very best they can to make sure it is healthy and secure for my health and for the health of all the employees that work here. They also happen to have a hospital, which is fully equipped with COVID protocols, which is great. It's right here at the front door. There's not many destinations that have that luxury today, that they have and they've been a key factor in training us all. We are also working on getting a certification by Crystal, which is a world-renowned certifying entity that specializes in certifying and training all staff and in hygiene and sanitation and all that. We've started working on that program, so we'll have all our beach clubs certified, as well as our back of house, the homeowners association, the access to employees. So it's a team. Again, it comes back to the same thing. It's a team job. Everybody's working together with the destination of Punta Mita in their mind to ensure that when people come back, they know they're coming back to a safe, secure, healthy place. We cannot guarantee that they're not going to get anything, but nobody can guarantee that.
Yeah, I know that Punta Mita, Carl, is very used to foreigners, to people coming abroad. But don't you think, it's a question that we don't have in our guideline here, in our agenda, but don't you think that most of the clients for Punta Mita for the summer, when the doors are opened, of course, for seasons and some regions, are going to be Mexicans? Because Mexicans, they will not go outside anymore, at least for this summer. They will also give priority to Mexico. They have to support Mexico right now. And even other countries, sometimes they, like United States, they don't promote Mexico to come, their luxury tourists to come to Mexico. So what is your opinion about that? What do you think? What do you think about the summer that is next? In 1 month, we have summer.
So it's just around the corner, Abelardo.
Just around the corner.
And I could not agree with you more, 100%. At the moment, I would say of the 5, in Punta Mita, 30% of the homeowners are Mexican, 30%. And at the moment, I would say that 80% of the 400 or 500 people that are here are Mexican.
Imagine.
So the Mexicans that have a home, and there's quite a number of them that have rented homes since March and so did their quarantine here.
Yeah.
And this brings me to another point, Abelardo, of what makes Punta Mita so special is that it's gated, it's secure, it has technology, it has connectivity, it has low density. It has a hospital. It is exactly the kind of place where I want to be, where I have my house in a crisis, in a sanitarian crisis like this. And you can go for a walk because you know that the gates have been controlled, that no people that are coming in from other places, and if there's employees, essential workers can work because they can go to the building where they have to build, and etc. You know me by now. I love this place, but I even love it much more now.
Yeah, you spent 5 years with St. Regis Punta Mita. Then you are back in 2017.
And I hope I stay here for a long time.
Yeah, and you have your own house there. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But one of the questions that we have from Maria Pellicer is, local tourism will be bigger, as we said. How would you encourage travelers who haven't been to Punta Mita yet to do that?
Look at all the options and check us out on whatever channels you want to check out what is without doubt one of Mexico's top luxury destinations today because of its settings, because of the way it is. I've said that already. And just check out all the options because there are options for everybody. There's an option to the Four Seasons. There's an option at the St. Regis. You can rent a house. I think in this environment that we are going to go into, especially in the short term, where renting a home for a month or 2 or 3 weeks is not a bad idea either. You know what I mean? It's and we have 400 homes here, so there's luxury villas, there's 3-bedroom condos, there's a bit of everything for everybody. So it is luxury, it is high end, but check out the options. You will be surprised.
Look, Ingrid Bruja, she was one of the speakers of Luxury Lab, and she is asking, is direct flight from New York? Do you have any direct flight from New York?
Not yet. Not at the moment. I know there's LA has direct flights, Dallas, San Francisco. I think Chicago still has. They're coming back on. So my suggestion there, as airline travel is still in the verge of coming back into action. The destinations are about to open up, but it hasn't been confirmed. I don't want to make don't want anybody to go buy a ticket for next week because it's not open yet. I just want to make sure. Oh, I heard by Carl on Instagram that it's open. No.
Okay.
It's not
So,
open yet.
so someone is saying, if you visit Punta Mita Instagram, you give update information when it's gonna be open. So I recommend a lot people following the Punta Mita's Instagram for more information. And there's Giorgio Brignoni, which has another paradise, which is Careyes.
Hi, Giorgio.
He's asking about competitions. If Careyes is a competition, is it a competition for you?
Of course it is. Careces is a world of its own. Another unique place in this beautiful country, Mexico. And I love Careces. I've been down there a few times, and it's great. It's different, as is Punta Mita, as is Cabo, as is Mayacoba. They're all different. They're all very unique and very special. And actually, I was thinking of going for a holiday. Where would I go? I'd go to Careces.
Yeah.
And Brojo, you can come up here. We can do a home swap.
That would be amazing. And then you have Alex Head from Polo House, this amazing polo platform, not a polo, but a lifestyle platform in Monaco that is worldwide. She's asking if you has started already with airlines and promotions, negotiating. I don't think so, right? Because you just answer. I think it's something that don't depend on Punta Mita, don't depends on Punta Mita, right?
No, but that's more the tourism board deal with that. Obviously, the Four Seasons, the St. Regis, through their travel agent Virtuosos and all that, do that. But we certainly monitor what airlines are coming in, etc., etc. But we have no active. I don't sit at a table with the airlines. That's not part of my role.
And there is, I think it's a wedding planner, Christina. She's asking, what are you doing with the events, plan of events, or are they asking for quotations or conventions, weddings? What do you expect? Because maybe we don't know about this year, but if you have any idea, any comments to share, Carl?
Yeah, there's been a few people have actually got like they threw the rock or they got engaged while in quarantine here. I actually talked to a young couple from Monterrey who are going to get married here next year. So love is still in the air.
Yeah.
And maybe more, maybe less, I don't know. But I actually, the event will happen.
It's Christina from Aeromexico's magazine. So we love what she does. She's amazing. And she loves Punta Mita. Thank you, Christina.
So answer that question. Weddings will be taking place. There are people, more towards the end of the year, November, looking at that. We have our event, as you know, one of my favorite events that I created 10 years ago, which is the Punta Mita Gourmet and Golf, which will take place in November this year. And Lorena's going to come, and we're going ahead with that. We will trimline the event so it won't be that big, glamorous event that maybe it perhaps was, and maybe hopefully it comes back to being. But we will tailor make it to the reality that we live today, which is small, exclusive, cautious, healthy, and very with a lot of awareness to the people around us. No? But yes, the show will go on, but it'll be a little bit different.
And Carl, going back to our agenda, since we know about you, you have these all creative ideas about new events that you have launched, and Gourmet and Golf is one of them. You just mentioned that you're gonna have in November, but which another event you expect for the next quarter or for the next half of the year?
At the moment, somewhat difficult to plan. And I saw there Abelardo, our friend Caroline, asking about Carlos Ortiz.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to Carlos on Monday, so I'll check in with Instagram Live with Carlos on Monday, and I'll find out. Caroline,
Punta Mita account.
Yeah, if she can come to Gourmet Golf, but the golfers are I think they're going to be playing. I think that's a big weekend of golf. I'm not sure if it's the Masters or golf will be back in action. So sorry, back to the question. What was it again, Abelardo? I got sidetracked.
In addition to the Gourmet and Golf, do you any other events that you are expecting for this year?
This year, certainly towards the end of the year, I'd say certainly November onwards. At the moment, we will focus in the short term on reopening and making sure we focus on reopening Punta Mita under the best guidelines and in the best way we can do, with the security and well-being of our visitors in mind. And that's probably, I would, as much as it might, wish I could do an event, I'd say I'd rather not be distracted at the moment. I'd rather give people the best, safest, and healthiest experience they can get and come back, because they must be dying to get out and walk in the fresh air, have a swim, see the sunset, have a tequila. You know, I do that every day, but I'm sure there's a lot of people like yourself just dreaming. When is that going to happen? No, so
Exactly.
I think we're going to focus more on that. We will most likely open our surf club over the summer, which we were meant to do in March this year, but because of the COVID-19, we did not do. But that'll be about as much as we do over the summer, unless things change. And if things change, as I said again, move quickly. I can do an event like, give me 5 minutes and I give you an event.
Well, we have one question from Ana Victoria Acosta. She works for Condé Nast in Madrid, but she lives in Guadalajara right now because of the COVID-19. And she's talking exactly about that. What is the next project that you have? I think the new beach club it was postponed because of the COVID-19 is one of them. Any other project that you want to mention, Carl?
No, I think the surf club, which is on the beautiful La Lancha beach, is probably the one that excites me the most. Apart from that, in the terms of real estate in Punta Mita, houses have, the houses have been built, the condos, Tau residences, Yari villas. The real estate has not exactly disappeared, Abelardo. People, I think it comes back to what we spoke about before, that people have realized that I can work. My daughter is here working with me. My two daughters are working here with me. Sabine's working. A lot of people are working. The CEO of our company is here working. And I've had a lot of people that I know are CEOs of different companies working in Punta Mita. This is a new world we live in. It's a brave new world. And people, as long as they can connect, and you've got Zoom and Microsoft Teams and Google or whatever it is, you can connect and you can work and you can lead your teams. Like you and I are connecting here today. I'd rather give you a big hug, but I feel like I'm connecting with you, and I think that's people, and that's why people are still thinking. I saw a guy the other day, Abelardo, a guy from New York at the driving range. He said, you know what, I've realized in this last month that I can run my business. I can do everything from Punta Mita.
Totally.
I said, I'm selling my house in New York and I'm buying a house here. Voila.
Voila. Well,
say no more.
Don't forget, because Lynn is remembering you about the Mita Tech talks that she's doing in February 2021. So
thanks,
it's
Lynn.
one. Go ahead.
Actually, it's all about tech at the end of the day. It's the capacity that we have to connect through technology today, which has made this all possible. So things like Lynn's Punta Mita Tech Talks have obviously generated ideas, and the fact today that we have fiber optics and I don't know how many gigas and this and that of capacity for people to work and have good Wi-Fi and do all this stuff over the internet and we need to get better. I'm not saying we will get better, because that is the path to have a sustainable residential community in a luxury destination like Punta Mita.
Yeah, and another one mentioned about Conrad Hotel. I think there are so many openings around Punta Mita, and how you deal with that, because it's a very nice community, how they help each other, right, Carlo, as we start in the beginning. It's so nice because everyone, it's a very fair play
It's
region.
true. It's good to have. We've got a number of new plays coming on. As you know, Abelardo, we have the Conrad, which is in Punta de Mita, which is outside of Punta Mita. Then we also have the Mandarina project coming along towards the end of the year. We have the Auberge sometimes next year. So I think it's great. Punta Mita, as you know, has been here for 20 years, and we've been a pioneer for this destination, setting the standards, setting an example for all the others that follow us on how to manage a luxury destination, be it through taking care of your community, be it through security, health, leading by examples, and all of the above. No, so I think that's a great thing. We welcome all the new players into the area. We wish them well. It's a tough time to be opening a hotel, I can promise you.
Well, we have someone from Canada that is asking about a long stay offer or promotion. Anything that you recommend on Punta Mita?
Just go to www.puntamita.com or send us a message on our Instagram Live, and we'll answer you and give you all the tips you need within probably an hour. I'd say within a few minutes, but let's say an hour.
Well, I'm dying to see the exchange between you and Giorgio Brignoni. You going to Careyes and Giorgio going to Punta Mita. What are the perception of both? No, it's two paradise that you have kept it so well. Congratulations about that. And Viva Punta Mita, Carl. Thank you so much. I don't know if anyone has any question or if you have to share, wants to share anything else.
If there's no more questions, Abelardo, I can only thank you for your time today and for inviting me to share with you on the Luxury Lab platform, which I've had the pleasure of participating in on a couple of occasions, and hope to do so in the next ones that when you do that. And I'm here for whatever you want, anything from Punta Mita. We'll continue working and following your example and leading by example at the same time. So a big thank you, and to all the people that have joined us today, God bless, be safe, and stay at home.
Well, just before you go, Caroline is saying that you have to share the Nora Jones playlist with all Punta Mita followers.
Sunrise. The sun comes up every day. And it sets every day. So that's the great thing about life. It's a mystery to be lived, not a puzzle to be solved.
Well, thank you everyone who attended to this live. And thank you, Carl. We are looking for, look, Maria again, to enjoy Mexico in the following months. Yes, let's enjoy Mexico. There are so many, plenty of places to go. And the Costa Alegre is amazing. Riviera Nayarit is unique. So let's travel around Mexico. Thank you, Carl. Thank you.
Thank you, Abelardo. I really enjoyed it. Thanks, mate. Un abrazo.